Afternoon. Welcome to Tech Talk. This is our fourth or fifth Tech Talk now, Tech Talk Tuesday. There is a website forthcoming. It'll be techtalktuesday.com, but I still have to build it out. And this is also the first Tech Talk for the month of October 2023, which is also known as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So we're going to talk a lot about cybersecurity awareness over the next few Tech Talk Tuesdays. And today we're going to talk about staying safe on the internet. And I'm going to even share a personal story. So some of this will be taught. Some of what we'll talk about is keeping kids safe on the internet, on apps that are out there and social media and so forth. And let's get started without any further ado. So what is Cybersecurity Awareness Month? In case you were not aware, it was established in 2004 by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the National Cybersecurity Alliance and NCSA. It was created to help all Americans become more aware of the risks they face online and to strengthen the nation's collective defense against cyber threats. So it's been around for almost 20 years. Next year will be 20 years. And the goal is to educate people on how to stay safe online, how to keep their businesses safe, how to keep their families safe, and prevent any malware, any malicious attacks, and stolen identities and things like that. And it's just an educational month. A lot of businesses like myself, my business will educate people on how to stay safe and protect their families and businesses as they go along. The internet is vast. If you didn't know, here's some interesting stats about the internet. There are 1.8 billion websites on the internet. I actually thought it was more than that, but there are 1.8 billion websites on the internet. Although only a fraction of these are active, sites range from personal blogs to massive online retailers and everything in between. So all the way from Amazon, all the way down to somebody's personal blog site. 1.8 billion, so almost one website for every 4 people on the planet. There are 4.9 billion people, or more than half of the world's population, are now on the internet. 3 billion of those there's 3 billion users on Facebook. I don't think they're all active. I don't know what the numbers for the active people are. So Facebook considers active being you've signed in at least once per month. This number continues to grow as internet access expands in developing regions. There are parts in the world that do not have landline phones, never have, but they have internet access. They have smartphones. So the internet has expanded beyond the traditional phone line at this point. Every day, quintillions of bytes of data are created with information ranging from social media posts and news articles to scientific data and multimedia content. So when we talk about AI, a lot of that data that AI holds comes from these sources. All of this information does not include the dark web, and maybe we'll do a Tech Talk Tuesday on the dark web in the future. I'm not sure I want to do that, but we can. I've gone onto the dark web many times, and some of the stuff you see on there is pretty scary. So I don't know the number for the dark web, but they have quite a few websites of their own, some of them mirroring the actual internet's websites. Here's some scary numbers for you. I don't like to be scary, but I think it's important to know these things. 86% of organizations had at least one user try to connect to a phishing site. Now, a lot of the times they don't know that it's a phishing site. So they get an email with a link that says your COVID tests are in. They click on the link and it's not really their doctor. It's not really anything legitimate. It's a phishing site. And this happened a lot during the pandemic. The pandemic is now over, so probably not happening as much, but soon it'll be IRS scams. There'll be a ton of fake IRS websites. Social security scams happen a lot. A lot of those, any new hot news item will also, celebrities sometimes can contribute to, not directly, but sometimes somebody creates a fake celebrity website and gets somebody to click through, and it's a phishing site. If there's, we had the earthquakes in Morocco, or the flooding in Libya, or whatever, some tragic event that happens, and suddenly you see lots of websites claiming to be helpful to those that are suffering in those events, and they're really not. They're going to steal your money. They're phishing websites. 70% of organizations had users that were served malicious browser ads. I've got reports of that just today. 50% of organizations encountered ransomware related activity. And that, again, most ransomware starts with phishing. Now, I think the number is 90% of ransomware attacks begin with a phishing attack. And then 48% found information stealing malware activity. So they've already been compromised, and there's malware on their computer that's stealing data from their machine, usually in the form of passwords, but also they steal tax IDs, tax information, bank account information, things like that. So we're going to focus mostly on online scams today, but I do want to touch on phishing. We'll talk more about phishing as Cybersecurity Awareness Month continues. Phishing in all of its forms. There are a lot of types of phishing. So there's email phishing. We're all familiar with this. Email phishing is the one you get an email. Often the email is poorly written, and they're trying to get you to click on a link or download a file, and the link will take you to a fake website, a phishing website, where they might try to get you to log in so they could steal your credentials. You might get the one I see a lot of is your purchase of Norton 360 from Geek Squad for $400 or something like that, and they send you a receipt for this, and then the goal, they'll have a phone number on there. The goal is for you to call that phone number, and then they're going to say, well, in order to check why you didn't purchase, why this purchase was made in error, we need to access your computer. So they're going to try to gain access to your computer, or they're going to ask you for a credit card number to verify. It's a very common one, usually gets filtered out by the big email groups, Google and Microsoft, but occasionally I do see them pop up in my email, and clients sometimes send them to me too. That's a very common one, but it's an example of how they do this. They send something to you, they try to get you to react with emotion, usually some type of fear, $400, I don't want to spend $400 on something I don't want. And then you click on a link, or you download a file. In this case, you might download the PDF, and that might be malicious. And then you call the number, and they gain access to your computer, and that also might be malicious. So they may come at you in multiple ways. And often now today, they will combine different phishing methods. So I'll get to that in a moment. So then you have spear phishing targeted at specific individuals or companies. So they might target the CEO, the CFO of the company in an attempt to gain access to the rest of the employees. So when you see phishing emails that have the name in the email, that's very specific, and that's spear phishing. You have whaling, which is attacks specifically targeted at senior executives or important individuals in an organization. So it's kind of like spear phishing, but again, targeting the high-level executives. You have smishing. This is phishing attempts via SMS, and this has been on the rise, and I'm actually going to share some examples of that as we go on through the month. You have vishing. This is voice phishing, and is often combined with either smishing or email phishing. And here's how this works. So you get a text message, and let's say you get a text message from Zelle saying you've authorized a $5,000 Zelle transfer to random person. And it asks you to say, it'll ask you, if you didn't authorize this, please reply no. So reply no, and you instantly get a phone call from someone claiming to be from your bank or from Zelle saying, we need to verify who you are. And the way you're going to verify this is by sending a Zelle payment to yourself for $500. This has happened, or another amount of money. It could be any amount of money. And they'd say, send it to yourself by using your phone number. Well, the problem is you didn't claim your phone number in your Zelle account. Somebody else did. And now you're sending $500 to somebody else. And now they're getting $500. And then they say, oh, okay, we just need to do this one more time to make sure you are who you say you are. And you send another $500. This has happened. It happens more than it should happen. And it's happened in some cases in tens of thousands of dollars. But that's one example. A lot of the times when you reply to especially a text message, but even sometimes email, you will get a phone call almost instantly. And then there's social media phishing, also called angler phishing. This has also been on the rise. Social media to scam individuals into doing something they wouldn't normally do. We're going to talk mostly about that today. So how do you avoid phishing? A lot of it is education. Now, we have some stuff we do on top of the education technology stuff. So we do block out additional things. We do make some changes to email accounts to help prevent potential phishing. And then, of course, we have some software in place to prevent scripts from running and things like that. But always be skeptical of unsolicited communications, especially those requesting sensitive information. What it comes down to at this point is if you didn't request it, don't click or download anything. I wouldn't even reply. Sometimes you'll get weird emails where it's just somebody sending you a random message saying hello or something like that. And all they're doing is testing to see if that email address works, which means you're going to get more emails. They're testing you to see if your email is going to accept phishing emails to come through. Hover over links to see the actual URL before clicking. You can go a little further than that. You can actually, some software will block out URLs, so you don't have to worry about having to hover over the URLs. But this is a thing you can do. And just let's say you have just a regular Gmail account, you're not going to pay for software to protect yourself. And Google does a pretty good job of blocking out phishing emails. They will get 80 to 90% of it, but some still get through, and there's not much you can do to stop that. You can hover over the URL to see where it goes. So if it doesn't look legitimate, if it says it's Microsoft.com but it's spelled differently, then don't click on it. Use two-factor authentication for everything. Regularly educate and train employees about the dangers of phishing. This is what we do. If you have the means, then by all means, go ahead and educate your people on how to recognize and prevent phishing. Never click download or scan anything if it is unsolicited. Check with the sender if applicable. So this is another really important tip. You get an email from somebody that you do know or claiming to be somebody you know. You can, but you're not sure. It doesn't seem right. Something seems off, or it's not something you were working on, or it just doesn't seem right. Text or call that person. Do not reply to the email. Text or call that person to see if they legitimately sent it. They may not even know their account has been compromised or that somebody is pretending to be them. There's a lot of things that could happen here. So call them up and ask them before you reply, before you click on download anything. Call and ask. It doesn't hurt, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Online scams. So this is what we're really going to spend most of our time on today, and I'm going to show you some examples, including a short video, and then I'm going to give you some resources to use going forward. But so the advanced fee scams, this is asking for a payment upfront for fake services or goods, and this is one that has exploded on Facebook recently. So you see a lot of the scams for duct cleaning, for car detailing. These are popping up a lot. Some garage door repairs. They are popping up all the time, and especially in groups. And they will, first of all, they're going to collect your information, where you live. And I did actually do a video. So we have a Facebook page, Facebook group that you can join, and I'll have the link up shortly. There's a video on there that shows how far they will go. They are all over the place right now. So it's important. One of the ways to recognize them is they almost always ask you to DM or PM them for information. And the reason for that is it's easier to scam someone one-on-one than it is in a group. So if they have an entire conversation in the group, then it's going to be faster for people to recognize that it is a scam. Another way to recognize is they almost never include a business name, business phone number, or business email address or business website. They might include a free email address like gmail.com or outlook.com, and they may include a phone number. It's not that hard to get a phone number, a spoof of phone number. But almost never do they mention the business name, the business license, or the business website. Lottery scams, informing victims they've won a lottery but need to pay a fee to claim it. We've seen these for decades now, before the internet was even available to people. Tech support scams, claiming to be tech support and asking for payment to fix non-existent computer issues, or asking for access to your computer to fix an issue. And we get these a lot, Microsoft, and I've gotten Apple calls as well, where they call, pretend to be somebody from Microsoft, and say they found malicious activity coming from your computer, and they want to remotely access it so they can help you fix it. Microsoft and Apple are not going to call you to do this. It's not going to happen. So you can hang up. It is not what it seems to be. I did go through with the scam once before to see how far they were going to go or what they were trying to do. And they went as far, I frustrated them. I think I was on the phone with them for like 20 minutes. Unfortunately, I didn't record it, but I was on a Linux computer and I wanted to see how long it took them to realize it was a Linux computer. And it took them like 20 minutes. Microsoft, Apple, none of these vendors are going to call you and ask you or tell you that you have malicious content. If you're going to get that phone call, it's going to come from the FBI or Homeland Security. Romance scams, pretending to be a romantic interest to defraud money or personal information, usually leads to the next one, which is pig butchering. And I'm going to share the start of one of those in this presentation, but then I'm also going to show you a link, a YouTube video that shows you the whole conversation. And that took me 2 weeks to get through. So pig butchering usually starts as a romance scam, but targets wealthier individuals and can cost individuals millions. Now, I don't know how they identify wealthier because I am by no means wealthy, but I do get targeted. So we'll see. And here's the first of the scams. You may have to zoom in a little bit here on this, but so this has been popping up a lot lately too. And these are random messages on Facebook pages that say that your page is being shut down for copyright infringement or something along those lines. And then they give you a link. So this one says recover-RY, and then a bunch of random numbers, start.page. This is not a Facebook page. Facebook does not take you off of their platform. You're going to go to this link and then they will ask you to log in and then will steal your Facebook account. Facebook accounts get stolen every day. I don't know what the numbers are, but they are a very popular target. Facebook is not going to contact you this way to do this. If they contact you at all, it will be an email and it will come from facebookmail.com. That is their domain for email, facebookmail.com. So don't fall for this. They will sometimes tag you in a post and you'll get an email that, because it is technically a Facebook post, it will come from Facebook, but it's not from Facebook. When in doubt, you can contact Facebook support. You can go to their Facebook support page. I know their support isn't the greatest. Calling someone there is next to impossible, but you can contact them through their Facebook support page. Facebook will not contact you. And actually it says police page. I don't even know what that means. I don't know if they were trying to say policy, if they really meant police. But Facebook will not contact you on your Facebook page with a message that there's a problem with your Facebook page. In fact, if they're copyright infringement, they just take it down. They're not going to waste their time contacting you. And you can file a claim to dispute it, but they will just take it down. This one is a post I've seen a few times, not a whole lot, but I've seen it a few times now. Someone will say something about they're moving, they need to move now for whatever reason. In this case, somebody got a promotion. Sometimes it's, a couple broke up. Um, just various reasons why they're moving. And then they're selling things. So in this case, they're selling a four-wheeler for $2,800, washer and dryer for $400, easy go golf cart. There's always a golf cart, and I never understand why people have golf carts if they don't live on a golf course. John Deere lawnmower and so forth keeps and just go down the list, all the different things that they're selling. And there it is. They PM me first pay, first serve. I can also deliver. So they're looking, oh, you want this TV? Fine. You got to give me 200 of the 400 first, and then we'll deliver. The advanced pay scam. We just talked about this. They're going to steal your money. And you're never going to get anything. Whenever you're dealing with purchasing, even if it looks legitimate on Facebook, don't send the money online, meet the person. Most town police stations now have set up a place where you can meet. And this is the best way to do it. Meet at the police station and exchange the money there so that you don't have to worry about getting scammed, and vice versa. The buyer shouldn't, or the seller shouldn't have to worry about getting scammed either, because that does happen as well. So if you're going to buy something off of Facebook or off of social media in general, don't send money in advance. Don't send money at all until you have the product in hand. And you should try to meet somewhere like a police station or something where you'll be safe. Here's another one I'm seeing a little more every day. Don't pay so much with HughesNet or local providers. I will install you tomorrow high-speed internet and cable service without paying anything. You can see at the bottom, I actually tagged it with the Facebook page that I'm going to reference shortly. This is Scam Likely. That's the Facebook group that we started, myself and a couple of other IT providers, as well as a local neighbor friend. First of all, I'm not even sure Hughes has service in Connecticut. They may, but if I recall correctly, Hughes is a satellite provider, and in Connecticut, you have no reason to use satellite internet because we have multiple internet providers where you can get high-speed internet. You're not going to get the same speeds with satellite. And yes, they are a satellite provider. Again, I don't know if they have service in this area. I'm going to check right now, as a matter of fact. But in Connecticut, you have Comcast, you have Optimum, you have Verizon, you have in some areas. This is in all areas. Verizon, you have GoNet Speed, which is great. I highly recommend them. You have Frontier, multiple. Yeah, so they do have internet packages for this area, but it's not. There's no need to have Hughes when you have. So I'm in Meriden, Connecticut. We have Cox Cable, we have Frontier, and in some areas we have GoNet Speed. Unfortunately, I don't. But I highly recommend GoNet Speed if you live in somewhere they can service. Hughes, I'm not even sure if Hughes has outside salespeople, but again, they ask in the comments, it will say PM me or DM me, private message or direct message me. That's not how salespeople work. So most internet providers no longer have outside salespeople for residential service. Some of them still do commercial outside sales, but most do not do residential anymore. Seen this one a lot, not necessarily Simon Cowell, but we announced about Britain's Got Talent. Simon Cowell has been confirmed as dead. And then they want you to click on that link, which will take you to a fake page. I see this from multiple celebrities all the time. It's fake. It's a phishing site. They want you to go there, and they're going to either trick you into spending money or trick you into logging into something. There's going to be some kind of scam to go with it. I've never followed one of these through, so I don't know exactly where it goes, but I do know that it is a scam. And if you're not sure, oh, did Simon Cowell die? just go to Google, search for it, and then you'll see whether or not it's real or not. And this is the video I'm going to show you. There's no audio to this, but this is on LinkedIn. And so you can see this person, Martina Molly, starts messaging me. And good morning. It's an honor to see your profile. Looking forward to connecting with you. So right away, this doesn't even sound right. And the name doesn't match. You'll see. I say hello. She asks if I'm busy. And I say, not anymore. How about you? She says she's from China and that her name is Lin Jingsu. You can also call me Lin. I don't know what I should call you. She messaged me on Facebook. Clearly, my name is Scott. I asked her why her profile says Martina. And she said that that's her English name, but her friends call her Lin or Jingsu. She continues to talk to me a little bit. Nothing crazy, just friendly conversation. She said she's been to Harvard, but now she's in California. She asked me if Harvard's closed. She's maybe a little information, or maybe that's all she knows in Connecticut. I'm not sure. I tell her I'm close, but that's it. I don't give her any other information. But my LinkedIn profile says where I'm at. And then she sends a picture. Very common to send a picture. Very pretty girl. And then LinkedIn actually did block this. It says may contain unwanted or harmful content, but I said I view it. Then I actually did go to bed at that point. It was late. And then next morning, she starts messaging me again, thinking I'm going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I explained that, no, I wasn't. And I actually recorded a video, but I can't find it. And I recorded the video saying, she's going to ask me if I'm going to if I can take this conversation to WhatsApp any moment now. And she did. So here it is. She asked me to go to WhatsApp. I did continue the conversation on WhatsApp. I know exactly where this is going to go. I pretended I didn't know. I didn't use WhatsApp. I do use WhatsApp. I knew where this conversation was going to go. And it hasn't gotten there yet. I haven't spent a lot of time continuing the conversation. But eventually she's going to try to get me to purchase, it could be cryptocurrency, it could be precious metals, it could be stocks, maybe even real estate, I'm not sure, on a platform that's not a real platform. So what they do, this is the pig butchering part. So what they do is they tell you, all right, we're going to buy gold. Go to this website and buy gold. And of course, I'm paraphrasing, I'm short and sweet. And then the platform is not going to be a legitimate platform. So they're going to keep getting you to buy more gold. They're going to show you, hey, look, it's going up, keeps going up every day. And you're making all this money. But then when you go to try to take some of the money out, it's gone. When you ask them what happened, they disappear. And that's it. And so I'll show you, and I'll include it in my YouTube video when I upload this to YouTube. But if you go to our Nawaj Tech YouTube channel, so you can follow us at Nawaj Tech on YouTube, and go to, it's our most popular video. Oh, it's not there, but this one right here, what is pig butchering and how to recognize and avoid it. This will take you through the whole scam, how it works. Oh, that's the commercial. That's 2 minutes. I was going to say, I thought it was longer than that. So here you go. 7 minutes. Okay. So it's only 7 minutes. It's not 7.5 minutes. It's not bad. Go and watch that video and you'll see how it starts and ends. And I'll probably have more at some point. I do have one other video. It's a YouTube short. I think they're called shorts. How pig butchering scam starts on LinkedIn. So basically the same thing. And what you'll see with this one though, is you see now it says LinkedIn member and the profile image is gone. I expected that to happen with Martina, my newest friend. However, it has not happened yet. The profile's still there. So I know what happens is the LinkedIn profile was stolen. Somebody's broke into it, and I'm showing you the wrong screen right now, so you can't even see the YouTube videos, but I'll share the links. And they stole the profile. They didn't change the name, but they changed the image. And that's what happened with this one. She's still active on LinkedIn. She's probably scamming other people. Another thing you could do is with the image, I took the image and dragged it out to Google, her LinkedIn profile image, that is, and found it on a bunch of other profiles on LinkedIn. So this is something else. You could reverse search on Google Images, and you'll see that the image is attached to other LinkedIn profiles. And then you know right away it's fake. This is the Facebook group I was talking about, facebook.com/group/scam-likely. You can go there and we talk about scams, all the different scams that are running around, not just on Facebook or LinkedIn, but everywhere, the text message scams. And then do get a number of those. The one I'm getting a lot of now are the post office scams. We have your package, but we couldn't read the address. And then they ask you to click a link to update your information. They're trying to steal your information. No package. UPS isn't going to text you randomly to tell you this. Now, before I end this, I'm going to talk about something that happened to me, or not really me, to one of my children, because it is internet safety that we're talking about today. And our kids growing up in the internet connected world, a very connected world. And so they connect all the time. So they connect on social media, and they don't use Facebook like some of us do. They use Snapchat and TikTok and things like that. They also play games. They might play on Roblox. They might play Among Us. There are a lot of other games where they can communicate. They have a PlayStation or an Xbox. They communicate on those games. And my kids, I know kids are communicating rather than on text message. They use Snapchat to communicate with each other. And one of those reasons is because Snapchat deletes the messages. So there's that, you know right away there's some dangers with that. So this happened a few years ago. Among Us was a little more popular game at that time. And it was during the pandemic, so everybody was home at the time. Well, the kids were home at the time. School was being done from home. And one of my children was playing Among Us. And Among Us has a chat feature, so you can chat with people you're playing with in the game. So I happened to pick up my son's phone one day, and in our house, our children have phones. However, they are told that we will be randomly checking their phones for the apps, first of all, that we don't want them to use, and second of all, for things that might be dangerous to them. Our kids should not be expected to know all of the dangers out there. As a matter of fact, my son's school is going to have a speaker from Homeland Security in a few weeks to talk about the exact same thing. It is a big risk, and the problem is a lot of parents don't know that they should be checking or how to check, and they also don't know. And a lot of times, a lot of parents think, "Well, I'm invading their privacy." They're kids. You're not invading their privacy as long as you're honest with them. Just be honest. So yes, I do check my kids' phones randomly to see what they're messaging, to see what kind of conversations they have. Most importantly, who are they talking to? So somebody contacted my son in Among Us, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. They started chatting in Among Us. Then they took the chat to text messaging. So my son is texting this person, and this person sends a picture, very pretty girl that would be around his age at the time. And I think he was probably 10-ish, and very pretty girl. And then said, "Go get a makeover and send me a picture of yourself." I'm not saying it exactly, but the makeover part was what convinced me this was not who they say they are right away. I kind of knew it anyway, but right away I knew, kids don't talk like that. took the image to Google reverse search. You really need to do this. If you're not sure about an image, take it to Google, especially a picture of someone, take it to Google and do a reverse image search. That image popped up dozens and dozens of times. It was a stock picture of a girl. And so I knew right away this person was not who they say they were. They were messaging him from a number that was, I think, an Alabama area code or something like that. But this is how they get you kids. This is how they get the kids to run away from home. They might try to talk them into doing this. Now, I don't think my son would do that, but they prey on the weak children, sometimes children that don't have parents that pay attention. And so this is why it's important. Pay attention to what your kids are sharing on social media. Pay attention to what your kids are sharing within messages on Snapchat as much as you can. Again, I know it's hard because Snapchat messages disappear. There are apps out there that will help you. I've used Bark, which will also scan for questionable material. You can block out adult material. You can also pay attention to keywords. Like if your child is talking about suicide in messaging, you can have it flag that word or anything that relates to it. There's another one called now I'm drawing a blank on it. There's a few apps out there that you can use that will allow you to control what apps they use and what they're doing in those apps. Pay attention to the messages that are being sent back and forth. Pay attention to the usage. If they're using it in the middle of the night, we have locks on our kids' phones, so they only allowed a certain amount of time on certain days, and it stops working altogether, except for texting and phone calls after a certain time. But the most important piece is be honest and talk to your kids, because if you're not speaking to them, you're not going to about the dangers. You need to speak to them about the dangers. You're putting your children at a disadvantage. So I don't know how many times we've seen stories of, a pro athlete or a public figure who got in trouble for something they shared 10 years ago on social media. There was a football player recently, I don't remember the name, but he lost a full scholarship for a video he shared of him rapping along with a song that included the N-word. And he was white. So he lost a full scholarship to college. He was a football player. He lost a full scholarship for something he shared on social media. And in his mind, maybe this is completely innocent. I don't know. But what you share today could come back and haunt you years from now. It's happened time and time again. Or worse, if if your child is sharing pictures of himself or herself with no clothes on, this is technically child pornography. And if it's shared on your internet connection, you can be arrested for it. It's happened. In Buffalo a few years ago, somebody was sharing child pornography on their neighbor's Wi-Fi network, and the neighbor was arrested. Now, I'm pretty sure the charges got dropped because they were unaware, but it's still a headache, and it's still something you would have to confront. But more importantly is our child's safety. So you need to pay attention to what they're doing on their phones, on their devices. They all pretty much have all Chromebooks now in school. And I don't think the schools are doing a great job of locking those Chromebooks down. They may pay attention to some degree, to what they're looking at, but they're not doing a great job of making sure they can't do things they shouldn't be doing, in my opinion. So internet safety starts at home. You need to pay attention to what your kids are doing online and understand that there are extremely dangerous risks on the internet. And that's all I got for you today. Hopefully this helps someone. We will again have a Tech Talk Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we will talk more about the phishing stuff and how to prevent that. And I will include the links to the Facebook, the YouTube videos that I was talking about in the Facebook group I'm talking about. When I upload this to YouTube, it will be again on YouTube at Nuage Tech. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at the same address, Hat and Wash Tech. So until next time, stay secure and happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month.